Hey, what's going on, APUSH people? We have another important document that we are going to break down for you today. This one is the Wilmot Proviso. You cannot talk about the Mexican-American War or controversies over slavery prior to this Civil War during the antebellum period without knowing the Wilmot Proviso. This could be a great topic to include in an essay or see on a DBQ that deals with sectional tensions. All right, so let's start off talking about what the heck is it? Well, it was a bill introduced to Congress during the Mexican-American War to ban slavery in all land gained from Mexico during the war. So it said any land that the U.S. would gain should be free from slavery. Now, let's look at exactly what David Wilmot wrote when he wrote this. It says, provided that, as an express and fundamental condition to the acquisition of any territory from the Republic of Mexico by the United States, by virtue of any treaty which may be negotiated between them, and to the use by the executive of the moneys herein appropriated, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude shall ever exist in any part of said territory, except for crime, whereof the party shall first be duly convicted. So all this land that the U.S. would gain that Mexican cession, if we're up to David Wilmot, it would be slave-free. So let's look at some document analysis questions. The goal of this is to ban all land gained from Mexico after the Mexican-American War. Now, another topic that is tied into Wilmot Proviso is manifest destiny, this belief of expanding from coast to coast. How did that contribute to debates over slavery, such as the Wilmot Proviso? Well, as the country expands, a major question was, would this new land be free or slave? And that was a question in the Louisiana Purchase, and it's certainly a question in the Mexican Cession. So the Wilmot Proviso is an example of tensions between the North and the South over the expansion of slavery. And as you know, the South was against it. So to take this a step further, we notice that the Wilmot Proviso, although it never becomes a law, it does pass the House of Representatives, but not the Senate. So what does that tell us about the population distribution of the U.S. in the 1840s? Think about this for a moment. You're absolutely right. So because the House of Representatives is based on population, more people are living in the North, which has a higher number of representatives in the House. Therefore, that's why it's passing in the North, where there is no slavery. Now, because the Senate has equal representation per state, it can be defeated even though the South has fewer people than the North does. So this is a very important idea. Passes the House of Representatives because more people are living in the North, but it fails to become a law because the Senate is equal representation per state. That's why something like the Missouri Compromise, that's why the South wanted to have an equal number of free and slave states so that they couldn't be outvoted in the Senate. Okay, so how would the following view the Wilmot Proviso? These could be some multiple choice questions if you see an excerpt on the Wilmot Proviso. Southern plantation owners, you know it, they'll hate it, they'll be against it because they want to see slavery expand as the U.S. expanded. Somebody who's in favor of popular sovereignty. Popular sovereignty is the belief that individuals should vote on the status of a territory becoming free or slave. Those individuals that live there, they would be against this because it sought to ban slavery. This would take the power away from individuals to have a voice. Members of the Free Soil Party, you know this, absolutely, they would support it because they wanted to keep slavery out of the Western territories, as did members of the Republican Party, people like Abe Lincoln. So where else in American history have we seen bans on slavery? Not just the immediate one that comes to mind, the 13th Amendment. Think of the Northwest Land Ordinance from 1787. This banned slavery in the Northwest Territory, areas like Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and also the Missouri Compromise. This will ban slavery above that 3630 line in the Louisiana Purchase. So everything above this line here will be free. Everything below this will be slaves. So just a couple other examples that you can make connections to when thinking about the Wilmot Proviso. All right, let's finish up with some HIP analysis. The historical circumstance of this document is the U.S. was at war with Mexico, and as the U.S. was expanding, that idea of manifest destiny, which really describes antebellum America, there were debates over whether the land that is acquired should be free or slave. Obviously, David Wilmot believed it should be free. The intended audience, this is Congress, specifically the House of Representatives, because that's where David Wilmot will introduce this bill. He wanted to keep slavery from spreading, and free soilers and abolitionists would agree. Point of view of the document is the point of view of an abolitionist or a free soiler. The author wanted to keep slavery from expanding, and the purpose of this document, again, is to keep slavery from expanding, specifically in the land gained from Mexico at the conclusion of the Mexican-American War. So if you see this as part of a DBQ, here is your HIP analysis to include for that document. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you back for more document analysis videos. If you have any suggestions for a document or a political cartoon, anything like that you want me to go over, leave it in the comments. I thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.